The Skiatook School District, marred, of course, by scandal, indictments, and allegations of incompetence. The former superintendent calls the criminal charges against him unjustified. Gary Johnson's out on bond tonight after he was arrested on embezzlement and bribery charges. News on 6 education reporter Ashley Sims spoke with his attorney and has more in tonight's top story.
Scott, Gary Johnson's attorney says this was all an honest mistake. The grand jury says there was nothing honest about this mistake that robbed Skiatook schools of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That amount of money in any school district will not buy all the instructional materials.
2 years into his superintendency, Gary Johnson was fighting for more textbook money.
The indictment names Gary Johnson in a charge of officers receiving bribes.
Now he's a former superintendent facing criminal charges and fighting for his future.
You know, it's fair to say that in a lot of ways he's been devastated.
Johnson resigned last month after a state audit revealed the school district wasted more than $500,000 on overpriced goods and services.
No longer be able to work in the Skiatook public schools was tremendously disappointing to him, but then to face criminal allegations in addition to that is in some ways overwhelming.
A grand jury investigation led to 2 criminal indictments. One accuses Johnson of faking documents to cover up high-priced invoices, and the other alleges he took money to give preferential treatment to an Oklahoma City businessman, Rick Enos. Enos runs E&E Sales and Austin Security. Both companies sold custodial supplies and security equipment to Skiatook schools at a premium. For example, state auditors found that Skiatook bought 3 cases of 12 mop heads for about $540. But auditors say delivery tickets show just 3 mop heads, not 3 cases, were delivered. So the district ended up paying almost $180 for each individual mop.
There are legitimate questions about whether or not that happened, and also the circumstances under which it could have occurred. Certainly a question about whether or not it was 3 mops or 3 cases of mops.
Nye says Johnson accepts responsibility because he was in charge of the school district when the overspending took place. But he says it was an error, not a crime.
He knows that there's a difference between an honest mistake or honest mistakes and criminal intent. And he trusts that the process will ultimately work.
Gary Johnson's attorney says his client took action to correct the problems mentioned in the audit as soon as they were brought to his attention. Ashley Sims, the News on 6 tonight.
And the former superintendent isn't the only Skiatook school official under fire. That same grand jury that indicted Gary Johnson says the school board's president should be removed from office. They claim Kenny Cooper approved those purchases from E&E Sales that were marked up as much as 500%, and that allowed the district to overpay for equipment by more than $230,000. The News on 6 left a message for Cooper, but he never returned.